Okay, next tutorial. This look is meant to be Chucky from the Child Play movie series. Probably more the second and third onwards, because he doesn't really look like this in the first few films. He looks similar, but obviously he doesn't have these cuts in his face until the third film onwards, I think. But yeah, this is what he's more iconically remembered for, isn't it? And today, this is my most requested look of all time, more than my Exorcist look by far. I get this requested at least 3 or 4 times a day, all the time. So I thought, right, I best do it so you guys can see my interpretation of it. Obviously I can't make it look exactly like Chucky the doll because his face is very squashed and small, but this is my, I guess, interpretation or version of it. I hope it's okay. I'll flash on the screen now the different people that requested this look, up to about 20 or 30 people, because if I listed everyone it would go on forever. But after that, the first person to request this look was Bermuda Penguin 07. I'll pop their name here. So thank you for being the first person. Thank you everyone that requested this look, but they were the first person, so yay. But yeah, I hope you guys like this look. If you'd like to see how to recreate it, stay tuned. So as usual, the first things I'm going to do is apply a bald cap and block out my eyebrows. I'll pop a couple links here and here to previous tutorials to teach you guys how to do that, just so I can save some time up in this video. The reason I'm going to be using a bald cap is because I need to make it look like my hairline is a lot. Granted, my hairline is quite far back anyway, but it needs to be probably about here. But it needs to give this M shape. So I'm going to apply a bald cap and start pulling random hairs through, and then colour it and add some more hairs stuck to the side with like a staple effect, that kind of thing, just so it looks more like the broken doll that he is. So there we are. So once I've got my bald cap on, I can take a sponge and some liquid latex, and I can start coating I'm going to do my entire face in liquid latex. I need to apply probably a few more layers on the edge of the bald cap, just so when I run my finger down it's completely smooth. We don't want an edge. Now, the reason I'm covering my entire face in liquid latex is because I'm going to be cutting into it to make all the scars that he has. Because he has so many, there's no point in me using wax, because realistically using wax on the face that much, it's not going to last if you were to wear it out, and plus it's going to be so fiddly. So this is the easiest and most sensible way I can think of doing it, really, aside from using actual prosthetics. So yeah, so I'm going to coat my entire face in liquid latex. Make sure when you've blocked your eyebrows out, you've used another layer of, say, Spirit Gum, then wax, then another layer of Spirit Gum, just so they're completely secured, just so that we know when we apply wax to it, it's going to be safe. It is perfectly safe to apply the latex over the eyebrows as long as they're blocked out, so don't worry about that. So yeah, so now I'm going to start applying this, and we shall go from there. So we're going to need to do probably I'd say about 7 coats, so about as thick as I make my bald caps, really, that kind of a thing. So when we cut into it, it's going to have enough of a flap that we can slightly pull apart and then glue back down again, just so we can have these cuts in. I was going to use tissue like I usually do, but as there's so many cuts, I'll just be covering my entire face in tissue and it'll just look too thick, I think. So I'm going to do it just with about 7 or 8 coats of liquid latex. So keep doing it, let it dry in between, and we'll go from there. So there we are, my face is officially paralysed. So now I know it's a lot of latex, but trust me on this, when I apply the foundation, this smooth surface and the fact that your face looks so fake and toy-like, that's what we're going for, and it will give that depth when we cut into it. So yeah, now I'm going to take some rigid Collodion by Kryolan. So that's Collodion, which when you apply it to your skin basically puckers the area to make it look like scarring. Now I'm going to use this around my eye. Now this is completely up to you guys if you want to do it. I've done it before in the past. I've done it for my Bride of Frankenstein tutorial. The idea is I've left a gap of latex around this eye here, so I can just about see my skin. So I'll be applying 1 line of Collodion just underneath this eye, not touching my eyelashes, not touching my eye, and the idea is that I'm going to pull my eyelid down ever so slightly and let it dry. Now that will dry it and pull it down, so it's going to be like this, not stupidly low, but it's still enough that I can blink, but it will give that effect. It will just pull my waterline out a little bit more, so that when I colour it, it will make that eye look a lot more gangly and gross. So it's completely up to you guys if you want to do that. It is safe, I've done it before, but just do not go too close to your eye. So there we are. So not obviously ridiculously low, just enough that you notice the difference in this eye and there's enough of the waterline on the show. And I did a slight coat, one light coat of latex just around the eye after I applied the Collodion and let it dry, just so it holds it all in place. Yeah, so I can still blink naturally. It doesn't affect my vision in any way. Yeah, just try not to put it down too low, because that's when it starts getting, well, dangerous, to be honest. So yeah. Then I can start on the next step, which is going to be cutting into the latex. So speaking of dangerous, please, please, please be super careful with this. You've got to take it really slow. I'm using scissors. You can use like the spatula I've got here, just this kind of a spatula, not of a sharp edge, just enough that you can pull apart the latex. Because this is going to be for the cuts that he has across his face, so the one going across here and then up one eye and all out here. So yeah, so take it really, really slow. Just pinch the areas that you want to raise and then start cutting along. You'll see as I do it. Doesn't matter if the area starts flapping up, because it's probably going to, because it's not going to stick to the skin. So that's why I might use some spirit gum afterwards just to stick those down. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So there we are. So don't worry if it looks rough. That's when we take spirit gum and we start sticking down all the flaps that have come unstuck because we've cut into them. There we are. So once all the flaps are stuck down completely, we can start on the colouring. Don't worry that I've not gone too far back with the cuts. I don't want to cut too far into my bald cap, because otherwise it will lose the elasticity and it will just probably break. So I'm going to stop the cuts when my ball cap ends, so that I can, once I pull my hair through and that, I can draw the cuts on further. It's just the initial depth is going to be on the face, and the rest of it I can do with shading. So for the foundation, I'm going to use a Kryolan TV paint stick in 1W, and I'm going to apply that all over my face, obviously not going in the cuts, because I'm going to be colouring them with a completely different colour afterwards. So I'm going to take a smaller brush to apply this, and I'm going to go really slowly. Don't try and dab it if you can, don't stroke it, because we don't want to lift up any of these edges. So there we are. So I've only covered the foundation up to about there, because my hairline, I think I'm going to start pulling the hair through there, but I'm going to do that last, I think. But I'll see how it goes. So once I've done that, I can start colouring in all of these cuts. So I'm going to take my Kryolan Bruise wheel, and I'm going to take, if I can get it open, there we are, that really nice deep red. And the idea is I'm going to colour this all over the eye, and I'm going to follow the colour out all along these lines, and I'm going to extend them, I think, up, yeah, quite up into my hairline. I'll just stop it at some point, and then I'll just pull my hair out and cover the edge. So there we are. So once I've got the rough shapes drawn in, I can take the darkish colour from the Kryolan Bruise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over every single edge of these cuts, even the fake ones I've drawn up here, just to give the illusion of depth. Just ever so slightly brush the outside of the edge. And I'm also going to go over the eye area again as well with this black, just so it mixes together to make it a little bit darker. Then I'm just going to take some Grimace Black Cream in 101 and a really, really, really fine brush. And I'm just going to start tracing on a few little lines going across some of these cuts, just to give the effect of stitching. I can then take that red cream again, dab this around the area of each cut, just to make it look a bit more like it's bled and bruised outwards. Okay, so I think that'll do for now. I think I'll do the rest of the colouring on the face last. I kind of just want to pull the hair through now because it's bugging me seeing a bald Chucky. So, so what I'm going to do is, the hairline needs to be this big M shape. So I'm going to, you could probably use a wig for this if you wanted to, but if your hair is as long as mine, which is almost as long as Chucky's is, I think this will work better, and it'll look like the hair's actually punched in really crudely. So I'm going to do from about here, I think. I'm going to make tiny little holes in the ball cap, tiny little holes, and the idea is that I'm going to pull hair through a few, not a few strands, but probably a bunch at a time. So if I just do that, and I can colour it afterwards. Yeah, no more than that at a time. Okay, so I'm going to work in this pattern, in the M shape. So it's going to start looking eventually a lot like that. And I've just had that horrible realisation that I don't think I have enough hair. Oh, dearie me. So it needs to have that centre part and needs to go across. And I was going to spray it orange. But thinking about it, I don't think my hair is that long as I thought it'd be. So I'm going to have to cheat. I'm going to have to use some crepe hair, I think. Some synthetic crepe hair, and I'll stick that down with some spirit gum and spray that as well. I'm going to skip this step because you guys out there probably might not need to do that if your hair's long enough. I'm just going to get some crepe hair and just stick it down in the M shape along with my real hair, and then spray that all orange, I think. So there we are. Sorry for skipping ahead so much. I literally just stuck loads of crepe hair together in small bunches like this here and here, like almost like braids, because after he's got his natural hair all pulled back, he's looks like they've just grabbed whatever hair's left and staple gunned it to the head. So what I've done is I've stuck these down here, and I'm going to take some regular tin foil. I'm going to cut it in tiny little strips, and I'm just going to put a strip over each little plait that I've just stuck down, just to make it look like these ones here are stapled in. So I'm going to take some spirit gum. I'm going to just do a line across the weft of hair like that. Take my little tiny tin foil clip and just press it down and make sure it's completely stuck, so that when we've got this little like staple in the side of the head. There we are. So when you've done all of them, it should look like that. Then I'm just going to take my sleek contouring palette in 374, which has this nice dark brown like powder type shadow, contouring shadow rather, and I'm going to just apply that in areas where I want to contour, so around my nose and my nasal labial folds, etc. So I'm just going to go ever so slightly like in the crease of the eye, just to make the brow look a little bit more angry, and then I can go just down the nasal labial folds. Yeah, so just subtle little lines, little wrinkles, just so it doesn't look as plain. I'm then just going to take a light pink blush from my sleek blush palette in 366. This is Pink Parfait. And I'm just going to, not too heavily, just go over my eye that isn't obviously that creepy eye. And I'm just going to buff it in just to make it look not sore, but a bit less plain. And I'm going to pull the colour out around the eye as well. For the lips, I'm just going to take that dark colour again, that dark blue from the Grimace, from the Kryolan Bruise, and I'm just going to brush that ever so slightly on the inside of my lip and just blend that outwards. So not like a lip colour, not like a lipstick, just more of a slight hint as if he's lost the colour in his lips, that kind of thing. And then just, as always, going to take some fake blood. I'll pop a link here to one of my previous tutorials to teach you guys how to make fake blood, if you like. And I'm just going to lightly coat that in the inside of all of these wounds and around the eye. And yeah, that's it. So I finished off the look by applying two really super bright blue contact lenses, just because they look more dull-eyed, and that's the kind of lens he has in the film. The costume, I did start making my own Chucky costume, but then I came to the problem of finding a shirt underneath that would be this type of fabric, and in the end, I couldn't find one, so I thought, you know what, I just might as well buy a Chucky outfit. So yeah, this is a regular store-bought Chucky outfit. Sorry, I wish I could make my own, but hey-ho. Yeah, that says good, guys. Obviously, you need your trademark knife, because that is his weapon of choice. Just please be careful. In fact, get a plastic knife, not a kitchen knife like I have. Yeah, makes me look like less of a psycho. Yeah. So, that's my Chucky look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks everyone so much for watching and requesting this look. And yeah, so if you like it, make sure to, you know, rate, comment, subscribe as usual. And yeah, so until next time. Bye.